Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
A cabinet minister defends the Prime Minister's handling of the Bahama remobilization. The AG weighs in on that Kofi Goodman verdict. And a musician fears for the future of Bahamian music now that soca has rolled in. Welcome to our news. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, Minister of Labor and National Insurance Shane Gibson is hitting back at criticisms that Prime Minister Perry Christie misled the public on the Baha claims process. He suggested Christie's critics simply don't understand the process. Dana Smith reports.
Gibson insisted Christie did not mislead the public on the Baha claims process. He suggested detractors in the opposition simply misunderstood. Gibson explained Baha and China Construction America are two different entities, and one doesn't have anything to do with the other. According to the Claims Committee, only contractors who are owed money by a Baha company are eligible to receive payouts, while those owed money by CCA are not. Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis and F&M Deputy Peter Turnquest questioned why CCA contractors were left out and laid blame at the feet of Christie.
If Peter Turnquest and Hubert Minnis don't understand, they should understand. CCA was never in liquidation. CCA never declared bankruptcy. CCA is an internationally renowned company with billions of dollars in assets that anybody who would have a claim against them can put in a claim at any time and take them to court.
DNA leader Ranville McCartney has also accused Christie of misleading the public. But Gibson suggested the deal was designed from the start to get Baha creditors the monies that are owed to them, something he said they would not have gotten if it were not for the efforts of this Christie administration.
When you look at the persons who were impacted by Baha because they were in liquidation, unless the government stepped in on their behalf, they could not get this money. And I would challenge any of them to say that if it hadn't been for the government, that these persons would still be paid. It wouldn't have happened. The only way they could have gotten this money is with the intervention of the government.
Gibson stressed CCA is another company which is not in liquidation, so creditors who are owed money have other options open to them.
And I think the problem is I don't want to say ignorance, right? But the problem is you must understand the process. And you must understand that Baha is one entity, CCA is another. If CCA was in liquidation or had applied for bankruptcy, then I would say yes, it would be correct. CCA was never in liquidation. CCA never applied for bankruptcy. Now, if you didn't understand the process, don't blame it on the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister understood the process, and he understood that if it wasn't for him, the persons who were owed by a company that was in liquidation could not have possibly been paid their money.
Thanks, Dana. Well, police still investigating what caused that horrific car crash yesterday that left one Defense Force officer dead and another in hospital. Just before 3 p.m., the white Nissan 300Z vehicle the pair was in went out of control and crashed into a wall before it slammed into the wall of a nearby church. One Marine was pronounced dead on the scene. According to family and friends, he is Marine mechanic Roger Smith, seen here on your screen. The other Marine in the accident was taken to hospital where he remains in critical condition. But police also arresting a man they believe is a major firearm trafficker. According to reports, around 5 p.m. yesterday, a team from the Firearms Tracking Unit went to a business establishment off Mount Royal Avenue where they say they saw a man emerge with 2 small boxes. Police reportedly approached the man and searched the boxes. It was then that they uncovered 4 pistols and nearly 300 assorted rounds of ammunition. Police then searched the establishment where they found an assault rifle, 2 pistols, and a revolver with almost 300 rounds of ammunition. Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade took to Twitter congratulating the officers, saying, "I'm proud of my team." Greenslade also attached a photo of the guns and ammunition. The man found in possession of the firearms is now in police custody. Well, Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson is dismissing suggestions that the influence of local media, including social media, is not a legitimate reason to have trials reheard.
I think that, no, it doesn't. I think that, of course, it always depends on the facts.
Her comments came a little under 2 weeks after the Court of Appeal ordered a retrial for Kofi Goodman, who was previously sentenced to death for the murder of 11-year-old Marco Archer in 2011. The court ultimately concluded that adverse pretrial publicity, misconduct of Goodman's defense lawyer, and jury irregularity were major grounds for Goodman's case to be reheard in the Supreme Court. A retrial was ordered for as soon as possible.
I think that I'm very, very grateful that we have such competent judges who are aware of the modern realities with which we are faced and are able to balance the interest of justice given the prevalence of social media and the ease with which information travels from one place to the other around the world.
Meantime, Maynard Gibson says her office has not yet decided how it will proceed in handling the Court of Appeal's recent overturning of the conviction and death sentence of Kofi Goodman. When our news returns, one musician fears traditional Bahamian music could be in danger. That story on the other side of the break.